You're going to London." Victoria placed the folder on my desk and folded her arms. I looked at the folder, then at my wife. "For how long?" "3 weeks. Maybe 4. "Why me?" "Because I trust you." That answer should have made me smile. Instead, I felt a small knot in my stomach. For 6 years, I had worked beside Victoria while she built Carter Dynamics into a company people talked about. I had joined her when Carter Dynamics was only a small office with 8 employees. I stayed late, fixed broken deals, and learned every part of the business. Victoria used to tell me, "I couldn't have built this without you." Those words mattered more to me than any title. That was why her request did not feel like an order. It felt like my wife asking me to protect our future. She was the CEO. I handled operations, contracts, and the problems nobody wanted to touch. The newspapers called her brilliant. They rarely mentioned me. I never cared. When Victoria succeeded, I felt proud. "What happened?" I asked. She sat across from me. "We have a cash flow problem. A major investor pulled out. If we lose the London contract, we could lose everything." "How bad?" "Bad enough that I need you to fix it." I opened the folder. The numbers were ugly. "Victoria, this contract is worth millions." "I know, and the European partners are demanding guarantees." "I know that too." I looked up. "Why send me?" "Because you understand the deal better than anyone." I wanted to believe that was the whole reason. Victoria reached across the desk and took my hand. "I need you, Ethan." My chest tightened. "I'll go," I said. She smiled. "I knew you would." That night, she surprised me by cooking dinner. "You're staring," she said. "I'm trying to remember the last time you cooked." She laughed softly. "Maybe I'm trying to make up for something." "For what?" "For being busy." I touched her hand. "You don't have to apologize." "I do." She moved closer. "I love you, Ethan." "I love you too." "I mean it." "So do I." She rested her head against my shoulder. "When you come back, we'll take a vacation. No phones. No meetings. Just us." "That sounds perfect." "Promise me you'll come back to me." I kissed her forehead. "I promise." The next morning, Ryan came to my office. My younger brother forced a smile when I told him about London. "You're leaving tomorrow?" "Yeah." "For a month?" "Probably." He looked down. "What?" "Nothing." "Ryan." He sighed. "I'm just going to miss having you around." I laughed. "You can survive without me." "I'm serious." "So am I." He hugged me suddenly. I froze for a second, then hugged him back. "Take care of Mom while I'm gone," I said. "I will. And look after Victoria if she needs anything." His arms tightened around me. "I will." I pulled away. For one strange second, his eyes looked guilty. I ignored it. Family was family. At the airport, Victoria held my face between her hands. "Call me when you land." "I will. Every night." "I'll try." "No." "Promise." "I promise." She kissed me. "I'll be waiting." I boarded the plane, believing I was saving my wife's company. I did not know I was being removed from my own life. London was colder than I expected. By the second day, I realized Victoria had not told me everything. The contract was far more complicated. The investors wanted new guarantees, and the legal team kept finding missing documents. On the third day, the pressure became worse. A lawyer demanded that I sign a personal guarantee before the contract could move forward. "I'm not signing anything like that without Victoria's approval," I said. The lawyer frowned. "Your wife already authorized the negotiation. Then she can authorize this too." I called her again. "Don't sign," Victoria said quickly. "I wasn't planning to." "Good. Just finish the deal." Her answer should have reassured me, but it only created another question. I called Victoria. "You said this was almost finished." "It was." "It isn't. Can you handle it?" I stared at the papers. "Yes." "I knew you could." Her voice sounded strangely calm. "Victoria, what's happening at home?" "Nothing." "What?" "I don't know. You just sound different." She laughed. "You're tired." "Maybe." "Focus on the contract. Come home a hero." The call ended. I sat there for a long moment. Then my phone buzzed. A message from an unknown number. "Ask your wife what happens after midnight." I stared at the screen. Another message arrived. "Don't trust Ryan." My heart began pounding. I immediately called Daniel. Daniel had been my closest friend since college, and he was the one person I trusted when emotions made thinking difficult. "What happened?" he asked. "I got 2 messages." I read them aloud. Silence followed. Ethan, Daniel said, send me screenshots. I did. Do you think Victoria is cheating? I don't know. Do you trust her? I closed my eyes. Yes. Then I hesitated. I think I do. That isn't the same answer. I know. Later that evening, Sophia Bennett joined me at the hotel. She was the consultant handling the London negotiations. I checked the financial records, Sophia said. Something is wrong. What? Several numbers Victoria sent. You don't match the investor reports. Could it be a mistake? Maybe. But I wouldn't bet my career on it. I looked at my phone. There were no new messages. I thought about calling her again, but I stopped myself. I did not want to become the suspicious husband who questioned every silence. I had spent years trusting Victoria because trust was easier than imagining betrayal. I still believed love deserved faith, even when fear whispered otherwise. Even when evidence began appearing. For the first time since I married Victoria, trust felt like a question instead of an answer. I opened my email. One new message waited there. No subject, no name, just one photograph. I opened it. My breath stopped. Victoria was standing beside Ryan. They were outside my house. Together. Too close. The photograph had been taken late at night. I checked the date. 3 days after I left home. I stared at the screen until my hands started shaking. My wife had promised she would wait for me. My brother had promised to look after her. And suddenly, I was no longer sure what either promise meant. I stared at the photograph for almost a minute before calling Victoria. She answered on the fourth ring. Ethan, is everything okay? Who took this picture? What picture? I sent it. The message showed as delivered. Then silence. Ethan, where did you get that? Answer me. Ryan came over because I needed help. At midnight. He was helping me with work. Outside our house. Yes. You expect me to believe that? I expect my husband to trust me. That sentence hurt more than it should have. I do trust you. Then stop looking for reasons not to. The call ended. I lowered my phone. Something about her answer sounded perfect. Too perfect. Sophia walked into the room carrying 2 files. You look sick. I got another photograph. I saw. She says Ryan was helping her. Sophia placed the files on the table. Then need to look at these. What are they? The financial records. I opened the first file. Sophia pointed to several numbers. Look at the contract value here. 28 million. Now look at the internal report Victoria sent you. 24 million. Exactly. I frowned. That could be an accounting error. Then explain this. She opened another page. The payment schedule changed 3 times. None of those changes appear in the documents you were given. Who approved them? Someone using Victoria's authorization. I leaned back. Are you saying Victoria is moving money? I'm saying someone is. Sophia lowered her voice. And someone may have wanted you in London while it happened. I stared at her. You think I was sent away on purpose? I think you should stop assuming the answer is no. I immediately called Daniel. He answered quickly. Tell me you found something. I need you to check Ryan. What about him? The photograph. And my house. Send it. I sent everything. For the next several minutes, I heard only keyboard clicks. Then Daniel spoke. Ethan. What? I checked the security records. My stomach tightened. What did you find? Ryan has been entering your house almost every night since you left. I closed my eyes. Every night. Almost. Victoria told me he was only helping with work. Maybe he was. Daniel, I'm not saying he is innocent. I stood and walked toward the window. Did he stay overnight? Yes. My throat went dry. How many times? 6. I said nothing. Daniel continued. I also checked the garage camera. What did you see? Ryan's car was there until morning. I gripped the phone harder. Why didn't you tell me earlier? Because I wanted proof before I scared you. You should have told me. I know. I looked at the photograph again. Daniel, I need you to keep checking. I will. And don't tell Victoria. You're serious about this? I need the truth. Then don't confront her yet. I wasn't planning to. After the call, Sophia watched me carefully. You believe them now? I believe something is wrong. That is different. I know. She nodded. Then finished the contract. I looked at her. Why? Because if someone sent you here to keep you away from the company, you need to know why. Her words stayed with me. I wanted to fly home that night. I wanted to walk through my front door and demand answers. But anger without proof would only make me weak. So I stayed. For 3 more weeks, I fought through meetings, legal threats, revised terms, and sleepless nights. Every time Victoria called, I acted normal. "How's London?" she asked one evening. "Cold." She laughed. "You hate cold weather. I hate losing more. You'll be home soon. Are you excited?" "Very." "Do you miss me?" "Every day." I swallowed. "I miss you too." She paused. "Ethan." "Yeah." "I love you." "I love you too." I hated how easily those words still came out. 2 days later, the final investors signed. Sophia smiled across the conference table. "You did it." I looked at the signed contract. "We did it." "No, you did." I finally had what I needed. The company was saved. Now I could go home. I called Victoria. I booked my flight. "When?" "Saturday." She sounded relieved. "Good. I'll pick you up." "I'd like that. You deserve a welcome home." I almost laughed. Instead, I said, "I can't wait." After we ended the call, I immediately contacted the airline. "Can I move my flight?" "Yes, sir. Tonight." I changed everything. Victoria believed I would arrive Saturday. I would arrive Thursday. I told Daniel, "Do not tell her." "I won't. I want the house checked before I enter." "I'll handle it." Sophia looked at me before I left the hotel. "You know, this may change everything." "I already know." "What will you do if the photograph means what you think?" I took a slow breath. "I'll ask for the truth. And if they lie?" I looked toward the airport doors. "Then I'll stop being the man who believes them." The flight home felt endless. I imagined Victoria opening the door. I imagined Ryan explaining everything. I imagined myself being wrong. That was the part one wanted most. I landed late at night. No one knew. I drove home alone. The house looked exactly as I'd left it. I stood outside for several seconds before putting the key into the lock. My hand trembled. I turned it slowly. The door opened. I stepped inside. The hallway was dark. I heard a sound upstairs. Then another. A man's laughter. I froze. I knew that voice. Ryan. It came from my bedroom. I took one silent step toward the stairs. Then I heard Victoria laugh too. My heart dropped. I tightened my grip on the railing. I had come home early to surprise my wife. Instead, I had walked into the answer I was afraid to find. I stopped halfway up the stairs. Then Ryan spoke. "Do you think Ethan will suspect anything?" Victoria answered softly. "He trusts me." My chest felt hollow. Ryan laughed. "That makes this easier." Victoria whispered, "Keep your voice down." I covered my mouth with my hand. I had spent 3 weeks fighting for the company they claimed was our future. I had worked until my hands shook. I had defended Victoria to investors. And while I was doing it, they had been laughing together in my bedroom. I took another step. The floor creaked. The laughter stopped. "Who's there?" I stared at the bedroom door. My heart pounded. I had finally come home. But for the first time in 6 years, I no longer felt like I belonged there completely now. I opened the bedroom door. Victoria stood beside my bed. Ryan was sitting on my side. For several seconds, I could not breathe. "Ethan." Victoria pulled the blanket around herself. I looked at Ryan. "Get out." Ryan stood. "Ethan, please. Get out of my house." "I can explain." "Then explain while walking." Ryan froze. Victoria stepped toward me. "Ethan, this isn't what you think." I laughed once. "You're in my bedroom with my brother." Our marriage was already falling apart. "No." "Ethan, listen." "No." "You listen." I pointed at Ryan. "That is my brother." Then I pointed at Victoria. "You are my wife." My voice shook. "And both of you are in my bed." Victoria's eyes filled with tears. "I was lonely." "You were lonely?" "Yes." "So you chose Ryan?" "It wasn't supposed to happen." "When did it happen?" Victoria looked away. "When?" "After you left." "How long?" She said nothing. Ryan stepped forward. "I never wanted to hurt you." I turned toward him. "Then why were you here?" "I thought Victoria needed someone." "She had me. You were always gone. I was in London saving your company." Ryan's face tightened. "You always think everything is about you." I stared at him. "What did you just say?" "You had everything, Ethan." "What did I have?" "Mom trusted you. Dad trusted you. Victoria chose you. The company depended on you. Everyone looked at you like you were the perfect son. So you slept with my wife because you were jealous?" Ryan lowered his eyes. "I loved her." "You love my wife?" I know how it sounds. It sounds disgusting. Victoria stepped between us. Stop. I looked at her. Why did you send me away? She went silent. Answer me. I needed time. For what? To move things. What things? Company assets. My stomach dropped. What? Victoria swallowed. I transferred control of several assets while you were gone. Why? Because I knew you would stop me. Stop you from what? Building a new life. With Ryan? She nodded. I felt something inside me break. So the London crisis was real? Partly. Partly. We needed you away. I stared at her. You created a crisis to get rid of me. I needed control. You used my loyalty. I had no choice. You always had a choice. Ryan whispered. Victoria was trying to protect us. I looked at him. Us. You don't understand. I understand perfectly. I walked toward the door. Victoria grabbed my arm. Ethan, please don't leave like this. I pulled free. What do you want me to do? I want you to hear me. I've heard enough. We can fix this. I looked at her for the last time. No, Ethan, you made your choice. I walked downstairs. Victoria followed. Where are you going? Somewhere I can breathe. Don't make this worse. I stopped at the door. You already did. I left. Outside, the cold air hit my face. I sat in my car, but did not start the engine. For 6 years, I had believed love meant sacrifice. Now I understood that sacrifice without respect was just another form of destruction. I called Daniel. Where are you? Home. I need you. Are you safe? Yes. Tell me what happened. I found them. Daniel went silent. Together? In my bedroom. I'll come to you. No. I'll come to you. When I reached Daniel's apartment, he opened the door immediately. You look terrible. I feel worse. He handed me water. Start from the beginning. I told him everything. Daniel listened without interrupting. When I finished, he asked, Did Victoria admit the company transfer? Yes. Did she explain how? No. Then we find out. I opened my laptop. I brought copies of the London documents. Daniel leaned closer. What's this? I don't know. He opened another file. Then he stopped. Ethan. What? This is a share transfer. To whom? Ryan. My hands went cold. That's impossible. Look at the signature. I stared at the screen. It was mine. My name was written perfectly. I never signed this. Daniel looked at me. Are you sure? I would remember. When was it filed? 3 weeks ago. That was when you were in London. I leaned back. Someone forged my signature. Daniel nodded slowly. And someone inside the company authorized it. Who? We don't know yet. I stared at the document. For the first time that night, my pain became something colder. I had spent hours thinking about Victoria and Ryan. Now I was thinking about whoever had helped them. Daniel. Yes. Don't tell anyone what we found. Why? Because if the person who authorized this is still inside my company, I don't want them to know I'm coming. Daniel studied my face. You're not going to confront Victoria? Not yet. What are you going to do? I'm going to find the person behind this. And then, I close the laptop. Then I decide what they deserve. Daniel nodded. I looked at my forged signature one last time. Someone had stolen my marriage. Someone had stolen my trust. Now someone had tried to steal my future. I was done reacting. I was going to take control. I understood. What about Ryan? I don't know. You still love your brother? I looked at the floor. I don't know what I feel. And Victoria? I love her. Loved? I don't know if I can call it love anymore. Daniel sat beside me. Don't let them turn you into someone you hate. I won't. I opened the file again. Look at the authorization code. Daniel leaned closer. This was approved through the executive office. Victoria? Possibly. Could Marcus have done it? Maybe. I remembered Marcus, Victoria's business partner, always smiling during meetings and always watching me whenever I questioned a financial decision. Daniel, check Marcus. I will. And check James too. The CFO? Yes. Someone had access to the transfer system. Daniel picked up his phone. I'll start tonight. I nodded. Then my phone buzzed. Victoria. I stared at her name. Daniel asked, Are you answering? No. Good. I turned the phone face down. For the first time, I understood. I did not need Victoria's explanation. I needed the truth. I sat across from Daniel the next morning. I want everything. You mean the company? I mean Victoria, Ryan, Marcus, James, every transfer, every signature. Daniel nodded. You're not confronting them? Not yet. Why? Because anger will only warn them. Sophia joined us an hour later. I checked the London records, Sophia said. The crisis was manipulated. I looked at her. How? Someone moved money out, then created the appearance of a cash shortage. Who? Marcus Reed. Daniel opened his laptop. Marcus has been buying company debt through a separate business. I stared at the screen. He planned the collapse. Exactly, Sophia said. I rubbed my forehead. Then Victoria wasn't running the whole thing. She may have known some of it, Daniel said. But Marcus was controlling the pressure. I remember Victoria telling me she needed control. What if Marcus convinced her that I was the problem? Sophia nodded. That would explain why you were sent away. I leaned back. Marcus used her fear to control her. And used your absence to move assets, Daniel added. I felt something change inside me. For the first time, I stopped asking why Victoria had betrayed me. I started asking who had helped her. Find James Miller, I said. Daniel looked up. The CFO? Yes. He might be scared. Then I need to know what scares him. That evening, I met James in a quiet restaurant. He arrived 10 minutes late and sat across from me. You shouldn't have called me. I know. If Marcus learns I met you, I'm finished. What did he do? James looked around. He threatened my family. My jaw tightened. With what? My daughter has a private school loan. My wife has medical debt. Marcus said one wrong move would make sure we lost everything. I pushed my phone across the table. Look at this. James stared at the transfer records. You found them. I found some. He lowered his voice. Marcus ordered me to hide these payments. Did Victoria know? I don't know. Did Ryan know? I don't know. Then tell me what you do know. James swallowed. Marcus created fake losses. How much? Almost 12 million. I stared at him. 12 million? Yes. Where did it go? Different accounts. Then Marcus bought the debt cheaply. So he wanted the company weakened. He wanted control. I sat back. And Victoria? James sighed. Marcus kept telling her the company would die unless she made difficult choices. She believed him. She trusted his advice. I closed my eyes briefly. She trusted the wrong man. James nodded. I can give you everything. Why now? Because you came back. I looked at him. What does that change? You're the only person Marcus cannot easily control. I almost smiled. That used to be true. James reached in his coat and handed me an envelope. What is this? Copies of instructions Marcus sent me. Why keep these? Because I knew one day I might need protection. I scanned the pages. His signature is here. Yes. Then this can prove the transfers were ordered. Not only that, one message tells me to prepare a report blaming Victoria if anyone investigates. I looked at James. You saved this for yourself. I was trying to survive. He lowered his eyes. I'm sorry. Before I left, I told him, protect your family. Let me handle Marcus. James nodded. Thank you, Ethan. I walked outside. For once, I wasn't carrying the weight of my marriage. I was carrying evidence. When I returned home, Victoria called. Ethan, we need to talk. About the divorce? Yes. I'll sign. Silence. You will. I don't want another fight. Are you sure? I've lost enough. Her voice softened. I never wanted to hurt you. I almost answered honestly. Instead, I said, I know. You understand why I had to make choices. I understand. Ryan and I can handle the company. I closed my eyes. There it is. What? Nothing. She continued. The lawyers will send the papers tomorrow. I'll sign them. Thank you. The call ended. I sat in silence. Victoria thought I had surrendered. Ryan probably thought the company was already his. That was exactly what I wanted them to believe. The next morning, Ryan called. You're really leaving? Yes. You're giving up your shares? I've got no reason to fight. Ryan laughed softly. I always knew you would understand. I felt anger rise, then forced it down. You seem happy. I finally have a chance to build something. Build it honestly. Silence. What does that mean? You know what it means. I don't want another argument. Neither do I. I ended the call. Daniel arrived later with a lawyer. Your original shares have protective clauses, Daniel said. How strong? Strong enough to block any transfer made without your verified approval. I looked at the documents. So the forged transfer is worthless? Legally challenged, yes. And my voting rights? Still yours. I breathed slowly. Then activate everything. Daniel smiled. Are you sure? Yes. You could destroy Victoria. I shook my head. I don't want to destroy her. Then what do you want? I want the truth. Sophia placed another file on the table. This proves Marcus owns the company that bought the debt. I opened it. There was Marcus's name. Perfect. Daniel watched me. You've changed. I had to. You're not angry anymore. I am angry. Then why are you calm? Because anger makes mistakes. I closed the file. I don't need revenge that feels good for 5 minutes. What do you need? Justice that lasts. Daniel nodded. We'll prepare the board challenge. I looked at the papers. For 6 years, I had protected Victoria's company because I believed it was our future. Now I was protecting the truth because it was mine. That night, I received a message from Daniel. Call me immediately. I answered. What happened? Marcus made his next move. What move? He's preparing documents blaming Victoria for the missing 12 million. My blood ran cold. Why? To save himself. So he's going to sacrifice her. Yes. I stood from my chair. Does Victoria know? Not yet. I looked toward the dark window. She trusted him. Daniel's voice hardened. And now Marcus plans to make sure she takes the fall. I closed my eyes. The game had changed. Victoria had betrayed me. Marcus had manipulated her. But now, someone was about to bury her under a crime she didn't create. And I knew exactly where I had to strike. I let Marcus believe his plan was working. Daniel kept building the case while I stayed quiet. Are you sure this is the right move? Daniel asked. Yes. You're giving him time. I'm giving him confidence. And Victoria? I'll deal with her after Marcus. Daniel nodded. Then we wait. I didn't like waiting, but I understood the value of it now. Every day Marcus believed I was broken gave him another chance to make a mistake. That afternoon, I asked Ryan to meet me. He arrived looking relaxed. You wanted to talk? Yes. About the divorce? About us. Ryan sat across from me. I don't know what you want me to say. The truth. I already told you. No. You told me excuses. His expression hardened. What truth do you want? Why? Why what? Why did you do this to me? Ryan looked away. You had everything. I frowned. That is your answer? You always had everything, Ethan. Say it. Mom trusted you. Dad believed in you. Victoria loved you. The company depended on you. Every room you entered belonged to you. I never asked for that. You didn't have to. So you decided to take my wife? I didn't plan it. But you did it. Ryan's jaw tightened. I love Victoria. You wanted what was mine. I wanted something that was finally mine. I stared at him. You were my brother. And you were always the perfect brother. I wasn't perfect. You never had to be. Everyone forgave you. I shook my head. Ryan, jealousy doesn't give you permission to destroy my life. You don't understand what it was like. No, I understand exactly what it was like to feel less important. I just didn't turn that pain into betrayal. Ryan's eyes filled with tears. I hated you for years. That confession hurt more than the affair. Then you should have told me. Would you have listened? Yes. You're lying. No, I would have listened because you were my brother. He lowered his head. I'm sorry. I stood. I wanted you to say that before you betrayed me. Can you forgive me? I don't know. I walked away. For the first time, I didn't feel responsible for fixing Ryan. That evening, Victoria called. Ethan, something is wrong. What happened? Marcus moved money. How much? I don't know. You should check. I did. Her voice trembled. He transferred millions through another company. Do you have proof? Yes. And the documents blaming you? Silence. You know about those? I do. He's setting me up. Yes. Why? Because he needs someone to blame. Victoria breathed shakily. Ethan, I made a mistake. You made several. I know. Do you finally understand what Marcus did? Yes. And what you did to me? Another silence. Yes. I closed my eyes. I have a board meeting tomorrow. I know. Marcus is trying to remove me. I know. Will you help me? I will tell the truth. She whispered, thank you. I ended the call. The emergency board meeting began the next morning. Marcus stood at the head of the table. Victoria Carter has failed this company, he announced. $12 million are missing, and the responsibility belongs to the CEO. Victoria sat silently. I entered with Daniel and James. Marcus turned pale. Ethan, I placed a folder on the table. You should finish your statement. What are you doing here? Protecting the truth. Marcus laughed nervously. You gave up your position. No, you forged my signature. The room went silent. Marcus stared at me. That is an accusation. Then look at the evidence. Daniel opened the first file. This transfer was authorized using Ethan's forged signature. James placed another file beside it. These payments were ordered by Marcus. Marcus stepped backward. James, you're lying. I have the original instructions. I looked around the room. Marcus created fake losses, moved company money, and secretly bought company debt through another business. One director asked, "Do you have proof?" Sophia's documents went onto the table. "I have the London records," I said. The numbers were changed before I arrived. I was sent abroad while Marcus moved the money. Marcus slammed his hand against the table. "You're twisting everything." "No." I looked at Victoria. "You trusted him." Her eyes filled with tears. "I did." Marcus turned toward her. "Victoria, don't listen to him." She stood. "You lied to me. I protected you. You planned to blame me." Marcus said nothing. I continued. "He used your fear to control you. But he doesn't get to use your mistakes to destroy you." Victoria looked at me. "Why?" "Because the truth matters. You could have exposed everything and destroyed me." "I could have." "Then why didn't you?" "Because I don't want revenge anymore." Marcus's face changed. "You think this ends here?" "No." Daniel stepped forward. "The authorities have the evidence." Marcus went silent. The board voted to remove him from all company authority pending investigation. Victoria remained CEO, but her position was now under review. When the meeting ended, everyone left slowly. I gathered my files. Victoria approached me. "Ethan." I turned. She looked smaller than I had ever seen her. "I don't deserve what you did." "No. You saved me." "I saved the truth." She swallowed. "After everything I did to you?" "Yes." "What?" I looked at the woman I had once loved more than anything. "Because I won't become like you." She nodded through tears. "I understand." I walked toward the door. Then Victoria quietly asked me the question I had expected but never wanted to hear. "If you hated me so much, why did you save me?" I stopped. I didn't answer immediately. Because the truth was harder than hatred. I turned back toward her. "I didn't save you because I wanted you back." Victoria wiped her tears. "Then why?" "Because 6 years ago, I promised to protect what we built. You broke that promise, but I won't break mine." "You still care about the company?" "I care about our employees. I care about the truth. I care about who I become." She looked at me for a long time. "I wish I had understood you before." "So do I. Is there any chance you can forgive me?" "Maybe." "Do you still love me?" I took a breath. "I loved you enough to sacrifice everything. Now I love myself enough to stop." She cried. I quietly walked away without looking back. Leaving didn't feel like losing. It felt like freedom. I looked at Victoria after her question. "If you hated me so much, why did you save me?" "I didn't save you because I still loved you," I said. "I saved myself from becoming someone consumed by hatred." Victoria wiped her tears. "I deserve your hatred. Maybe. But carrying it would only keep me tied to you." She lowered her eyes. "What happens now?" "Now I walk away." The board removed Marcus that afternoon. Investigators took the financial records, and James agreed to cooperate fully. Daniel called me later. "Marcus is facing serious charges." "Good. Are you satisfied?" I thought about it. "I'm relieved." "That's different." Sophia called next. "I have good news." "What kind?" "The London partners want to work with you directly." I smiled for the first time in weeks. Without Carter Dynamics? Without Victoria? Then let's build something new. I returned to London a month later. Sophia helped me establish my own consulting company. The same people who once knew me only as Victoria's husband now called me by my own name. One evening, Sophia asked, "Do you miss your old life?" "I miss who I thought I was." "That isn't the same thing." "No." I looked at the office window. I spent years thinking my life had to be connected to Victoria's. And now I want something that belongs to me. Ryan came to see me before I left for London. He stood outside my apartment, looking nervous. "Can I come in?" I opened the door. Yes. He sat down. I owe you an apology. You do. I was jealous. I know. I convinced myself you had everything and I had nothing. You had me. Ryan looked down. I know that now. I stayed silent. I don't expect you to forgive me. Good. He looked surprised. I mean, forgiveness might come someday, I continued. But trust isn't automatic. I understand. You destroyed something between us. I know. If you want my trust again, earn it. Ryan nodded. I will. I stood. I hope you do. He hugged me unexpectedly. I hesitated, then returned the hug briefly. Take care of yourself, I said. You too. When Ryan left, I felt sadness, but not guilt. A week later, my mother, Olivia, called. I heard everything. I closed my eyes. Who told you? Ryan. What did he tell you? The truth. I sat down. I judged you unfairly, Ethan. You defended Victoria. I believed you were abandoning your marriage. I never abandoned it. I know. Her voice broke. I'm sorry. I needed you then. I know. I don't blame you anymore. Can I see you? Yes. We met for coffee the next morning. Olivia held my hands. I should have listened. I wish you had. I can't change that. No, but I can be here now. I smiled. That matters. Months passed. The divorce papers arrived on a quiet Monday morning. I drove to Victoria's office for the final signatures. She looked tired. You seem different, she said. I am. She signed her page. Then she looked at me. Did you ever love me? I put down my pen. Yes. Her eyes filled. How much? Completely. Then how did you stop? I didn't stop loving the woman I thought you were. I stopped loving the person you chose to become. Victoria looked away. I wish I could undo everything. So do I. Do you hate me? No. Why not? Because hatred still gives you space inside my life. She nodded slowly. Will you ever forgive me? Maybe. Will you ever come back? No. She closed her eyes. I understand. I signed the final page. For 6 years, that signature would have felt like losing everything. That day, it felt like getting myself back. Outside, I stood on the sidewalk and breathed deeply. Daniel called. It's done. Yes. How do you feel? Free. That's simple. No. I smiled. But it feels right. Sophia called moments later. Our first major client signed. I laughed. You're serious? Very. Then let's get to work. I looked toward the road. My future was uncertain. I didn't know where my company would be in a year. I didn't know whether Ryan and I would ever become close again. I didn't know whether Victoria would ever understand the damage she caused. For once, I didn't need those answers. I had spent years measuring my worth through other people's love. I didn't do that anymore. I had lost a wife, a brother's trust, and a life I thought would last forever. But I had gained something I never knew I needed. Myself. At the airport, I stopped before entering the terminal. For a moment, I remembered my first flight to London. Victoria had held my face and promised she would wait for me. I had believed every word. Now I understood something painful. Promises meant nothing when actions told a different story. I didn't regret loving her. I regretted forgetting myself while doing it. I thought about Ryan too. Maybe one day we would sit together without anger between us. Maybe we wouldn't. Either answer was acceptable. I had finally learned that closure did not require everyone to apologize, change, or return. Sometimes closure was simply choosing not to carry the old pain into a new life. I picked up my bag and walked through the terminal. The future frightened me, but for the first time, that fear felt clean. It belonged to me. So did the choice ahead. I had no map for what came next, but I finally trusted myself to find a way forward. I kept walking. I looked toward the road. My phone buzzed. It was a message from Olivia. I'm proud of you. I smiled. I typed back. Thank you. Then I put my phone away. I didn't look back at Victoria's building. I didn't need revenge. I didn't need an apology. I didn't need anyone to admit I had been right. I had already survived the worst thing they could do to me. I had trusted people who betrayed me. I had loved someone who chose another life. I had watched everything I built nearly disappear. And still I stood. That was my victory. I started my car and drove toward the airport. London was waiting. My new company was waiting. My new life was waiting. For the first time, I wasn't running from pain. I was moving toward something. I was free, and I had nothing left to prove.